Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Kaiser Report. Kaiser's on the couch over here one more time, and I'm John coming to you today after a beautiful weekend here in East Tennessee, and I'm hoping and praying that you all had a wonderful, peaceful, relaxing weekend, because you're going to need it with all of the nonsense that's taking place in this country and around some of the globe today that is absolutely shocking in some cases. You know, all those peaceful protests that they had back in 2020, where they burned down the city of Minneapolis, which Tim Walz says now is you want to leave Texas and move to Minnesota and pay a lot more in taxes because it's so safe a city that you don't have to worry about anything. Well, that wasn't entirely true last week, and we showed you stuff that was going on with the people, hundreds of people in the streets trying to stop ICE from doing their job, and the police, once again, were being shown signs that they want to be defunded of the police, and now also the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And, of course, ICE, abolish ICE at all costs, because they're actually rounding up the criminals that were let in this country. And let's just think about what the promises were made on the election campaign trail about cleaning up the over 20 million people that were unvetted and let into this country with in some cases, bad intent. But now we have a bunch of people in the streets, and it's not mainstream everyday Americans. All you have to do is look at them. And the wonderment to me continually is the fact that these people have to cover their faces, don't want to be recognized through facial recognition. So why are they hiding if they feel this strongly about it? Do they not know, other than damaging other people's property, there is a way to get your voice heard in this country, both through the government and privatized networks such as this? So what's going on, folks? This is what I want to know. What in the world is happening? And if you're thinking about having a summertime visit to the beautiful state of California, you may want to rethink where you're going to go in that state and steer clear of some of the peaceful protests that are taking place in L.A. and in San Francisco, in Sacramento. Just remind yourself when you buy that plane ticket what you're walking into. Because these peaceful protests, as Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom are telling everyone how peaceful they are, and they're just protecting the citizenry of Angelenos. Let me tell you, sanctuary cities have no business being in business with anything but fraud attached to it. And if you don't believe me, look at who bought up some of the mom and pop hotels, and they're housing illegal immigrants in it and putting them on every social program known to man that's in that state, which there are a plethora of, in case you were wondering. And then have the audacity, when you go to remove these people, some of them bad criminals, some of them no work, just running children and trafficking women, and they're Angelenos that this stupid Mayor Bass, she belongs in Stupid Town, not in this Block A, but you have to say, this is the woman that went over to Africa to play at somebody's wedding and let the city of Los Angeles burn. Not that long ago. Remember, the news networks aren't telling you anything about that anymore. You know why? They don't want you to know that they may have misled everyone back then. They want you to forget these things. They just want you to understand that there are peaceful protests. And it's even spilling back over again one more time into our Congress. But I'd like you to take a look here on these peaceful, poor people that are trying to protect those immigrants, even in some cases putting their lives in harm's way. These people are just so peaceful and loving. Take a look here.
If you haven't had the chance to see the magnificence, the beauty of our great state, it's time to visit California.
Breaking news out of Los Angeles, where the FBI says it is investigating clashes between law enforcement and demonstrators. These clashes began Friday when crowds gathered around federal law enforcement officers carrying out immigration raids in that area. And today, right now, we're seeing police using tear gas and flashbangs to clear the crowds.
Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Because an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us! And Los Angeles does not back down for that kind of fight.
Continue fighting until we reconstruct every single institution from the ground up so that we can grant full amnesty for all immigrants. Demand full compensation for all of the victims of this criminal injustice system.
What's going to change this is organizing, and not just any type of organizing, militant organizing.
Won't that be fun?
We are going to fight for all Angelenos, regardless of when they got here, whether they have papers or not. We are a city of immigrants, and this impacts hundreds of thousands of Angelenos.
People on the side, as Karen Bass, are threatening ICE agents, spray painting death to ICE on dumpsters. Gavin Newsom also weighing in on the riots and blamed them on, get this, President Trump, accusing him of tearing families apart.
I also want to bring in now CNN senior national security analyst Julia Kayyem. Julia, if you're with me, you just heard Julia there describing the scene, but from the images that we've been putting on our air so far, what stands out to you at the moment?
So there's unrest. Let's start with there's protest, lawful protest, which is allowed in this country. There is some unrest.
There is some unrest.
Let's just take a look.
This situation continues to just unravel here in Paramount right now. We're bringing you live pictures. This is Josh Haskell with ABC 7 Eyewitness News of protesters literally trying to stop this bus with their own hands.
There is some unrest.
This is a brand new news truck that we just got. Looks like the tires were slashed. They busted into the windows. I'll see. Our personal bags were in the car. They stole all the stuff that was inside. There are some things here. Looks like they took cinder blocks through the window.
I say that's the California way.
Welcome to hell!
Now, Does this in any way resemble a peaceful protest? Only if you can put it up to 2020's Minneapolis riots over George Floyd can you get anywhere close to it. So the damages that are being done, no one will be held accountable for. It's difficult as all hell in California right now to get any kind of insurance from an insurance company, and they're going to have to pick up the tab for all of this. Let's hope that these people had that kind of insurance that will allow replacement costs for the lost cars, not to mention the municipal losses, Mayor Bass, of police cars and other equipment, city equipment that has been destroyed by your peaceful protesters. Go out and try to make us believe that that's normal. Who picks up the tab for that? Ultimately, you and I, because our insurance rates will go up to allow us to pay for their debauchery out there, and no one is stopping it. This is chaos in the street. This is 101 Marxism at its best. And if you don't wake up and realize that very soon, it'll come to a town very near you before too long. There's crazy people in the street. There's paid agitators whipping them up. And there is a government that we have right now with sitting Congress people that are adding fuel to that fire and need to be hauled on the carpet and made to pay and be accountable for their actions. And when that happens, then maybe we can get back to some form of normalcy in this country one more time. Now, we talk about people in Congress that have bad intent and misinformation to people, and also out and out, straight out lies about what is happening, when it's happening, and whose fault it really is. So let's take a look at Cory Booker that says, oh my God, he's all about the LA peaceful people that are being maligned as a result of Donald Trump's programs to stop illegal immigration and get out the criminals that were allowed to come through the border under the Democratic-controlled Congress that he sits in, which he was part of, as well as the last 4 years of Kamala Harris. So let's take a look at Mr. Booker here one more time.
Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. I do have to start with President Trump saying he plans to deploy the National Guard to Los Angeles to deal with the protesters there. The president bypassing the governor and federalizing the Guard himself. He says he did so because Governor Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass refused to act against the unrest. What is your response to President Trump's decision to deploy the National Guard?
The reality is we see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles. And again, any violence against police officers should not be accepted. Local authorities can handle that.
We see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles.
Meanwhile,
But remember, a lot of these peaceful protests are being generated because the President of the United States is sowing chaos and confusion by arresting people.
this guy, along with Hakeem Jeffries and several other people like Maxine Waters, and you'll see Maxine today big time while she is in Stupid Town, and it's ridiculous what these people are doing and getting away with, and they're elected officials from the Senate and from the House of Representatives that are out there making fools of themselves in the guise of bringing back to power the Democratic failed party one more time. It's a Humpty Dumpty party. Get this through your heads if you haven't realized yet why you lost the election. Get it through your head. Humpty Dumpty has fallen off the wall. And all the king's horses and Hakeem Jeffries and Maxine Waters and Jasmine Crockett's and AOC's cannot put Humpty Dumpty back together again. We need a house cleaning. This government, this chamber, both chambers need an enema, and they need it quick. It's getting bad, folks. And it's time to prepare. There's a lot going on in the world we'll talk about here in a little bit that scares the heck out of me, and it should start to worry you now and make you think about getting a little bit better prepped than you might be already. And that, and then we have this reporter, Caitlin Collins, that is still pushing lies and misinformation all over her news channel about various things. And when she's caught by the person she's interviewing, it's stumble, and I'll stick with this story. These news medias that we're listening to, if you choose to listen to them, but if you look at CNN's ratings and MSNBC ratings are right now because of this. People are waking up and realizing they're being lied to, and they're carrying a party line from a dead party, and they're carrying it until the point where they either are fired off the air or the networks decide that there's no income from this. All of these networks are propped up and funded and stood behind by pharmaceutical companies and the military-industrial complex. And if you haven't wised up to that fact yet, turn on any of these news networks and count the number of pharmaceutical information telling you to ask your doctor for this, ask your doctor for that. And you might lose some weight if you take this. We have an obese society. We know that. We have a person making America healthy again. If we let him do what he needs to do and get Congress the hell off his back, we'll have a healthier America. It's already started, folks. And the next step, and please, if RFK Jr. is in any way in your realm of getting an email to him, plead with him to get these pharmaceutical commercials off the mainstream media and off the air of TV completely. We are the only country in the world that allows pharmaceutical companies to push drugs down people's throat that may be harmful. And we have also now a medical personnel, especially now that we have physician aides and we have almost the doctors making the decisions on pharmacology when that could be dangerous to the health of the person that is taking two different medications that may be clashing with each other. So let's wise up and find a real doctor that has pharmacology experience before you go asking for what they're telling you on TV you need. Just think about the weight loss injection society that we've created now. Because don't push yourself away from a table, or don't put that plate on an all-you-can-eat bar Don't leave any room on that. And then shoot yourself up with Wegovy or one of the other things so you can lose the weight. Get real. Eat better. Eat healthier. Do the research yourself. Don't allow somebody to give you a pill or an injection that's going to do what to you. You don't know what the interbody reaction was, because we're all different. No two people are alike. And that's crazy, but let's take a look at Caitlin Collins.
It wasn't surprising, because he has said this before, and he's right that most secretaries have not been physicians. But at the same time, as you sort of alluded to during the interview, he is essentially the CEO of the largest health enterprise in the world. So his words definitely matter. And he is out there, making recommendations on all sorts of different things, from infectious diseases to food dyes, all these sorts of things. So, he's got a lot of policy power. Unlike the Surgeon General, who's sort of the nation's doctor, he has policy mandate powers. So it's surprising in that regard. I think he's trying to disentangle his own personal health choices versus his role as the Secretary of Health.
Well, and in that role as Secretary of Health, back in April, he said that a new effort that they were going to carry out would, he said, find the cause of autism, the autism epidemic, as he called it, by September. Now he seems to be saying that that is slipping, and he thinks that they would know more definitively by March of next year. Do you think that that is possible? What do you make of that timeline changing?
It certainly wasn't realistic by September, and it's still not realistic by March. I mean, Caitlin, there have been studies that have been decades-long studies following kids who've been vaccinated, following kids who have not been vaccinated, and really looking into, the potential causes of autism. These are international studies. First thing he said to you in that interview was that the existing studies, many of which have been done, again, over decades, need to be replicated. I'm not exactly sure what he means by that. If he means, look at the data and have someone else analyze the data, or if he really means what he said, which is that the studies need to be replicated, that would take a long time. I think what you're starting to hear from him, but also, I think importantly from the head of the NIH, is that maybe by September, they might have a framework in place to actually start to talk about what kind of studies need to be done.
Lies and misinformation are abundant among mainstream media's networks. It's hurt them. They're dying, and they don't realize that they are dying. And that, my friends, is the long and short of that. So let's think about why Kamala Harris may have lost an election. Because they can't figure it out, folks. So let's help them along a little. Do you remember the many accents that she tried to put on, depending what crowd she was talking to? Is she talking to blacks? Is she talking to Hispanics? Is she talking to union people? Well, it hasn't stopped. Obviously, nothing was learned during the course of running for president. So now she shows up in L.A. talking about the riots and everything else that are taking place there. And I'm not sure which accent she decided to use there, but it certainly wasn't her own. So we'll take a look at that before we head over into Stupid Town today. But until then, let's talk about what's going on in the world that could be very detrimental to efforts that are being taken right now with regard to getting a ceasefire in both the Gaza situation as well as the Ukrainian falafel that's going on over there. It's incredible that we haven't had further negotiations or more poignant negotiations than we have had yet. But it was just last week, I'm informed now, that Xi Jinping, the head supreme leader mullah from Iran, and Vladimir Putin had a behind-closed-doors meeting together. Folks, this is a recipe for disaster. All while we have these idiots in this country and in our Congress fighting over the big, beautiful bill so we can get on track and fund the things that need to be funded, and the distraction of Elon Musk, and the distraction of the riots in L.A., and the distraction of the riots in Minnesota. Let Tom Homan do his job. Let the FBI do their job. And let the police take your foot off the neck of the police and let them arrest these people that are supposedly peacefully protesting. If they do damage, they belong in jail. They need to pay for the damage that they do. And if they don't have the wherewithal to do that, then we have a lot of road work that needs to be done across this country. I'd put them on a chain gang. And then maybe these people will wake up, whether they're paid agitators or not, because they are going to pay a price for the illegal things that they are pulling off. And it's a shame, but you've got to worry. When those three despots get together behind closed doors, it isn't to say how much they like Donald Trump. It isn't to say how much they love America. It is a plan for them to form a new axis of evil that we better pay attention to now. We have Pete Hegseth doing this, that, and the other thing, all while that's happening across the other side of the world that could be very detrimental to the Western civilization as we know it. So, again, write and call your Congress people, your senators, and let them know that you know what's going on behind closed doors in both this continent and the others. And if you think for a second that you can trust Zelensky to be honest about anything, or that he wants a ceasefire, then you need to talk to me about a bridge I have for sale in Brooklyn. It's a beautiful bridge. I'll give you a great deal. This has got to stop. We're on the precipice of another world war. I hate to say it, and I hate to think about it, because we right now are living in the best times that anyone could live in. But we have a mixed up population of people that are either being driven through propaganda or driven through the devil himself against God that this nation was built on. And never, ever forget that all power and glory goes to the Son of God, Jesus Christ, and God Almighty, not a mullah, not any leader of any land, but this is our salvation, and we better start to pray every day and get our personal souls in order, because this world is a powder keg right now, and I personally want to be on the right side of God, not any politician. And with that, we'll give you a look at the many accents of Kamala Harris. Take a look.
People, look, you may not be a union member. You better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better better thank a union member for vacation time. For vacation time.
Wow, I love your accent. Where are you from?
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters. And my soror. And love you back, love you back. And I will tell you, when we get this done together, my friend. Thank you. Can we just give it up again for my husband? We know what we're talking about.
I'm gonna go throw up now.
We know that in this environment where all these folks are trying to push a bunch of mis and disinformation, we know the truth and we are truth tellers.
We know the truth and we are truth tellers.
It is part of the work that everyone is doing here that knows that the most effective messengers are your cousin. Are your cousin.
Barf! So she can fit in with the crowd just by changing her voice, and in some cases change her ethnic background. Is she black? Is she an Indian? Is she both? Is she did she write a book with somebody else's grandmother in it and call it her grandmother? We have question after question after question, but obviously she doesn't realize yet why she lost the election. It must have been somebody cheated on the other side. Well, we've been a victim of that, so we know how that goes, but I doubt very much that 78 million Americans made that mistake. And the promises made are being kept but blocked by the Democratic Party, democratically appointed fake judges, and so on and so on, and do not ever lose sight of that fact. So let's take a walk into Stupid Town and take a look at the person exercising her elected official powers. Take a look here.
Are you going to shoot a protester because you don't like what they're saying?
Here we go.
Why the guns? Why are these guns here? That's my question. I don't get why the guns have to be here. We're a sanctuary city. We know Trump doesn't like us. We know that he's going to try to use us as an example. He's going to try to goad us so that he has a martial law. He even alluded to civil war at one point in talking about this issue.
And Hegseth.
Trump hates us. He hates sanctuary cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us. Someone that's in charge, that can, an elected official has a right to go to check out what's going on. Who can I speak to? You know, anybody?
A few minutes later.
No, I want you to, hello. Congresswoman Waters, I just came to use my congressional authority to check on David.
We have our lobby securely now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public affairs office.
I need to get in.
Hey man, careful with that.
Go back. Rewind it. Stop.
All visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public affairs office.
I need to get in.
It's so nice to watch.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Bruh.
Loser.
It's a money grab. I mean, that's not the case. It's not. This is. I don't want to get into where my money comes from, but I'm. CNN is my main job, and that's where my main source of income by far. Very few people write books to make money. You write a book because you want to say something, you want to have a legacy, you want to uncover something, you have a message you want to get out there. I don't think people write books about Joe Biden to make money, but I don't think. I mean, the idea that I would do this for money is it's silly and not true. I don't
Well, with that, it's Monday. It is the 9th of June in the year of our Lord 2025, and we're wishing you a fabulous Monday. I know it was a lot to unpack today and a lot of somewhat not uneasy news to develop and take in. But these are things that you need to be aware of, and you need to pray every day for all the leaders of the world to come to their senses and do what's right. We know that God spared our president during the election process by dodging a bullet for us, and we need to get behind him no matter what anyone else says, and no matter what propaganda the media tries to push down your throat every day. Things will be okay if you pray, and pray diligently for your own soul and for the souls of everyone you know, because it's a dangerous world right now we live in. We let a lot of devil minions in this country that are being rounded up, and the people that they have touched and people that like them and don't want them going back. It's not about cheap labor, what the media tells you. It's about not having someone in the devil's army sitting next to you on a train or a bus or even in your own neighborhood. Now remember that and pray often that it doesn't touch you, your life, or your family. So enjoy the rest of this Monday. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here. I'm restoring a 79 MGB, which I disassembled all the brake assemblies yesterday and found the braking problems, ordered the parts. So I may give you a little shot of that in one of these days' broadcasts when those parts get here and show you what we're doing down in the car garage. So if you're interested in cars at all, you may want to stay tuned for that one, and we'll hit it as a daily broadcast for you on a lighter day with a lighter venue of things to talk about. So God bless you all, and remember, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more commentary, information, and useful bits that you may find amusing. Bye-bye now.